Everybody, Mark Callie, Mr. Saltwater Tank, coming to you live from Buffalo, New York, home of the Bills. When's the last time they won a game? Anyway, home of the chicken wing as well. I'm here in upstate New York, Buffalo, New York, dropping in on a 400-gallon reef tank build that I did for a lady reefer. Shout out to all the lady reefers out there. Unfortunately, there's not enough of you. We'd love to have more of you. Bring your friends. Same time, same place. Let's have a look at this build. Everyone wants to see the tank, not me. Here we go. This is the back room of a house. Old and the exterior of the house ended here. This room was added on at some point, not the current owner. Why the roof is slanted, no one knows. Even weirder, why is this side of the exterior wall slanted? No, it's not a mistake. I'll show you how much of it's slanted. This has to be done intentionally. That's just weird. Look, see how much this exterior wall is slanted? Like, what the heck is up with that? Anyway, that added some personality to the project, made my woodworker Rick from Harpeth River Woodworks did a great job on the woodwork on this. He got to deal with the slanted ceiling. I did not. The only way I had to deal with it was with the light racks. Let's start from the top. Speaking of light racks, this tank is lit by 4 Ecotech Marine Radion G4 Pros and T5s for supplementation. They're on about 4 hours a day. All the lights are on a movable light rack. Linear actuator drives the light rack. This whole thing moves. Touch of a button moves up and down. Right now I have it far off the water line because I was doing some work on the tank earlier. Press a button, boop, up it goes. Press another button, down it goes. Makes it very easy to work on the tank. This whole back of the house used to be tile. You can see the tile wall here. There's also tile on the back, on the floor. I made that back of the house a little cold, so we warmed it up with a fish tank. Nothing like a reef tank to add some spice to your life. So there you go. There's a look under the hood. Back out. So I left on an important spec that everyone wants to know. 400 gallons, 7 feet across the front, 3 feet, 36 inches front to back, 30 inches tall. Built by Planet Aquariums. They build my tanks. Trust those guys with my life. They built this tank and the stand. It sits on a steel stand. We encased it with wood. Client has a nice mix of fish. Here's Mr. Puffer. Lots of personality in this guy. He's been out all day interacting with me. Of course, you gotta love a Naso tang. It's even not a blonde Naso. It's for my friends Laura down at Kansas Marine. See, it's not a blonde. Every now and then you don't get the blonde. Oh, the lights are gonna kick back on. Now she's gonna glow. So we got a nice mix of soft corals in here, hard corals, even the old GSP, nice isolated. If you're gonna run GSP, that's the only way to do it. We have a mated pair of Banggai cardinals. They just exchanged the babies tonight. The male is now carrying for about the next month. He doesn't get to eat. See what we do for you ladies? We carry the babies for a month. So, got some Recordias in here. Got a nice bubble tip anemone that's doing well. This tank is 3 sides viewable. So you can view it by either side, like here. You can view it from the front, and then we can view it from the slanty side as well. 3-side viewable tanks, a lot of fun, adds a nice depth, especially when you get 36 inches front to back. If you can do that on your tank, absolutely do it. It gives you lots of depth for your aquascape. It gives you options. No one complains when they have options. So, to give you some perspective, water comes down from underneath the tank, flows through these pipes over into the fish room. I'll take you there in a minute. Some of the gear is up here. My famous oh shit switch, something goes wrong, hit the button, everything shuts down. I get a text message, the owner gets a text message. Pipes, here you go, here's another look at the pipes. So the pipes come from the tank through the exterior wall of the house, the old exterior wall, down into the fish room, into the basement. So let's have another look at the display, then I'll take you downstairs and walk you through the fish room. Love how this project turned out. Tank is maturing, it's coming into its own. Now, let's go have a look at the life support because everybody wants to know, what does the fish room look like? This owner has a basement, which I'm jealous of. I don't have a basement, would love to have a basement. Down we go into the cave. And I will show you guys the life support on the system. So, we walk into the basement here, and we're into the old utility room, which is now partly a fish room. If you have a utility room, yeah, the washer and dryer get that much. The rest is for the fish tank. It's more important anyway, right? Give you perspective. Here are the water lines. This is a return line. Here are the 2 drain lines that were coming out from the fish tank. Fish tank is up and over here. This is an Mrc Custom Sump that I designed for this project. Sits in an aluminum stand, trays, this tray is drained over into a sump pump. It's actually behind this wall. So for some reason, any water spills or this overflows, it hits the water on the floor sensor on the apex there. It would shut everything off, and then instead of just filling up and dumping on the floor, water would drain away. Water comes down, goes to the Refugium section first, 2 Kessel grow lights, power the Refugium. The owner had a second light, so she just went and added it in. Shout out to the lady reefers. This is a lady reefer tank, so if you're a lady reefer, hey, we need more of you. Bring more of your friends. Mangroves growing here. She even put some zinnia down in the Refugium. This is usually filled up with algae. We harvested a lot today, which is its job. Algae grows, eats nutrients, and then you kick it out, you throw it away, and you've exported those nutrients. So the water flows from the Refugium into the skimmer box section. Bubble King Super Marin 200 takes care of the skimmers here. One of the rare set and forget it type of skimmers on the market. Been very happy with every Bubble King I've ever installed. Red Dragon return pump pushes the water up through the ceiling, across, and then back up into the display tank. Inline heater. This is Aqualogic's heater. Been very happy with these. This titanium heater with built-in, it's an inline heater, built-in thermostat, built-in flow sensor. So if your flow cuts off, the heater cuts off, so it doesn't burn up. It's got its own thermostat. Of course, this is controlled by the apex for redundancy. If you've been watching my tank automation series over at saltwatercurrent.com, I talked about redundancy. Got to have it. 2 mini reactors, one for carbon, one for GFO, driven off the return pump so that I don't have to have an extra pump in the water. Right here next to the utility sink. What's a fish room without a utility sink? This client needs to service the reactors. They come straight out of the tray here. Water gets dumped out. Media gets thrown in the trash. Refills with media. And then we have a different pipe for her here. She can rinse the media out with salt water from the display tank. Goes into the drain. She puts this pipe back on and she's back and running. Makes it very easy to service the tank. A lot of this is automated through a Neptune Systems Apex on the control panel here. Automatic water change is handled through the dose. She has a dedicated iPad, so she can access everything down here. And again, an oh shit switch for the basement as well. Hits this, and the whole thing shuts down. Of course, you got to have water if you're going to have a fish tank. So we have a mixing station here on aluminum stands, won't rust. This is drained, raised and drained. This is a tray to catch any drains. This is drained over to the sump pump that's right here behind the wall. Water on floor sensor here as well. If anything leaks, I'm going to know about it. It makes RODI water automatically. 55 gallons of RODI water, 55 gallons of salt water. She needs to move water into the display tank, done with the pump, and then piping up across the ceiling into the display. No tubing, no buckets of water needed. If she wants to fill a bucket, we've got a pigtail to do that, and it does that automatically. But for the most part, water changes are done handled by the dose. Actually, this tank hasn't had a water change yet because it hasn't needed one. It only does it once the tank needs it. We don't have a nutrient problem in this tank, so we haven't done water changes. One nice thing about this fish room too, this was a solid concrete floor. The owner put down this chipped rubber type product. I don't know the exact name, but this stuff is kind of spongy and it drains water away, so you don't have to stand in water, which is nice. If you have a fish room or not, some point you're going to spill water around your fish tank. The rubber floor was a nice touch. So the thing to emphasize here is, look, some people say like, this isn't the perfect fish room, like whatever, like, so the ceiling is a little low. Well, so what? Like, you can still have a fish room regardless. This used to be, the washer and dryer used to be right here. We just move things around to make room for your fish room. So even if you think your fish room isn't ideal, look, run with it anyway. It doesn't have to be perfect. Once you have one, you'll enjoy it. You can do some great stuff with not a lot of space. Really gives yourself options. No one ever complains when they have excess space, XX options. That's the fish room. Let's go back upstairs and have a look at the display tank one last time for those of you joining us late. And then I will let you all go. What's today? Wednesday? Tuesday? I can't keep my day straight anymore. Back upstairs, show you all the display tank. All right, here we go. Back of the house again. 400-gallon display. 7 feet across the front, 36 inches front to back, 30 inches tall. Woodwork was done by my woodworker, Rick, over at Harpeth River Woodworks. Did a fantastic job with the challenges of this project with the slanted ceilings and the slanted exterior wall. Makes for a nice 3 sides viewable tank. Nice way to sit and spend your nights. Watch TV if you want, or you can sit and enjoy your reef tank. So there you go. Built this tank for Lady Reef for about a year ago. It's coming into itself, really doing well. she's thrilled with it, and I'm happy with it as well. Happy clients, happy fish tanks. It's all part of the fun. Hope you all are doing well. I will catch you next time. Have a great night.